Canada's Freedom Convoy is picking up steam and crossing borders with new protests brewing in Europe and the U.S. Now, needless to say, Joe Biden's not particularly happy after fully endorsing the summer riots of 2020 that left, dozens dead, caused billions in damage, property damage, arson and looting, and thousands of cops injured. Now, all of a sudden, Biden, he's now urging the Canadian Prime Minister, the gutless, cowardly Trudeau, to squash the peaceful Freedom Convoy in Ottawa, apparently by any means necessary. In a call, Biden and Trudeau agreed that these truckers at the border pose a serious problem, and the Canadian Prime Minister promised, quote, quick action on enforcing the law. Keep in mind, this is the same Joe Biden that not only refuses to secure our southern border, because it's now chaos, he has been aiding and abetting the entire law-breaking going on at our southern border. Illegal immigrants also are given preferential treatment, unlike anyone else that travels across the northern border. Down south, yep, illegal immigrants, there's no need to be COVID tested. There's no vaccine mandate. There's nothing whatsoever. Just free travel and airfare to the state of your choice in the middle of the night, 2, 3, 4 a.m., or as Jen Psaki calls them, early morning flights. Anyway, we pay for all of this. Who's going to pay for the food, housing, health care, education? That would be you, the American people. But Joe has a very different opinion on the northern border, because right on cue, instead of meeting with truckers, working out a solution, following the science, the cowardly Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, along with government officials in Ontario, they're now threatening these peaceful protesters, you know, the guys that were the heroes of the pandemic, with a massive $100,000 fine, 1-year prison time. They want to seize their trucks and their licenses and pretty much destroy their lives. Now, some are even calling for Canada's military to intervene and forcefully remove the truckers. Michigan's pro-lockdown governor, Whitmer, the witless one, even reportedly offered a heavy equipment across the border to help remove the trucks. And by the way, to the truckers' credit, they see the problem, and they have opened up one lane so commerce can continue. They're trying to work with and take care of the people that they usually are working to feed and help every day. Listen to what the Ontario Premier, Doug Ford, had to say earlier today. Take a listen.
We're now 2 weeks into the siege of the city of Ottawa. I call it a siege because that's what it is. It's an illegal occupation. This is no longer a protest. So let me be as clear as I can. There will be consequences for these actions, and they will be severe. Today, I'm using my authority as Premier of Ontario to declare a state of emergency in our province. Fines for noncompliance will be severe, with a maximum penalty of $100,000 and up to a year imprisonment.
Really? You're going to start a fight with the truckers? You're going to send in the military? You're going to take away their livelihood? Now, a court in Canada is also attempting to freeze over $8 million in donations to the Freedom Convoy. But the Christian U.S.-based crowdfunding site hosting the donations, Give, Send, Go, they don't take orders from Canada, and they are vowing to get those funds to the truckers one way or another. And keep in mind, despite attempts by Trudeau and other leftists, they've been lying and vilifying these truckers and calling them racist and every other name they can think of. Well, this is, basically the convoy has been comprised of peaceful Canadians from many different races, backgrounds, religions, who all share one simple message. No more mandates, no more lockdowns, no more COVID-19 restrictions. They want life to return to normal for every man, woman, and child. That's it. And by the way, let's say that Trudeau gets his way and he sends in the vaccination police and every trucker is vaccinated and every trucker gets a booster. Guess what? They can still contract COVID-19. They can still transmit COVID-19. The mandates, in that sense, are pointless. If you're fully vaccinated and boosted, even have natural immunity, you can get COVID-19. That's Canada and the U.S. not following the science as they like to lecture us. So now there are pretty much two options on the table for Canada's government, with, of course, the advice of tough Joe Biden, who doesn't lift a finger to secure our southern border. Let the truckers make their own health decisions, leave them alone, and recognize that even fully vaccinated people with boosters can transmit COVID, or send in the troops and arrest the truckers. It's a peaceful protest. You know what's going to happen. All hell will break loose. That will be the government starting a fight. People may die. They're going to, what, take the rigs, their livelihoods away from them? They're going to fine them $100,000 each? They're going to put them in jail for a year? To me, the answer is obvious. Restore freedom, leave the heroes of the pandemic alone. And our own investigative reporter, Sarah Carter, has been with the truckers and their convoy all week in Ottawa. And, you know, it looks like a block party every night. And I'm glad they didn't get too mad that I said I was a Rangers and Islanders fan yesterday.
I don't think they were mad at all, Sean. It does kind of feel like a block party. I mean, people here really are trying to show support for one another. We've got a lot of people, just regular citizens, showing up, trying to show their support for the truckers, and it's been very peaceful. Everybody's been really kind. I've got several truckers here with me right now. I've got Tyler Armstrong. He's here with me. You've been here from the beginning, right, Tyler?
Yep, I've been here since day one.
Yeah. What has it been like for the last 2 weeks for you?
It's been pretty surreal, just the amount of support we're getting from the public. Cash donations, food donations, getting little cards from kids and everything brings tears to my eyes every single day. It's a very beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's been pretty incredible how I've been treated as well. And I wanted to talk to you really quick. Mike Johnson, Sean, he's also a trucker. He's been here from the beginning. What's it been like for you when you hear Prime Minister Trudeau, you know, make statements that, you know, that basically the truckers are racist or that they're misogynistic or that there's criminality occurring? What have you seen and what is your response to him on that?
What I've seen in my response would be, I mean, even if you're to pan the camera around right now, you'll see every kind of looking person. You'll see there's probably 30 languages spoken right here. There's every kind of person here. We're all Canadians. This is not, like, my father was black, my mom was white. This is not a white, racist, left, right movement. This is a movement about freedoms of Canadians as individuals to make their own decisions in their lives.
Freedom, Sean.
That's what it's all about. Send our love, our prayers, our solidarity. Keep it peaceful, and I predict they will win in the end. Hang in there. Thanks, Sarah.
I will. Sean sends his love, his peace, and his solidarity with you.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
All right, our friends in Canada, Sarah Carter, live on the scene. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.